than the people in power. And when you add the two together, we are unstoppable.
Yeah.
So with that being said, for the rest of this press conference, let's hear directly from the people who are impacted by the neglect, by the failure, by the harm of the CT group. Please welcome the Louisville Tenants Union.
Yes. You got this.
Hello, everyone. My name is Giovanna Jones, and I'm a current resident of Liberty Green and a member of the Louisville Tenants Union. Thank you all for coming out to hear us today. We're going to start off by thanking Councilperson Jacory Arthur for sponsoring this resolution to support this campaign. After years of holding listening sessions with Louisville tenants, we launched this campaign in March of 2022 to improve the quality of life for hundreds of Louisville tenants. We are calling on LMHA to cancel the contract of one of the most abusive property managers in the city of Louisville and take these properties under LMHA management and union maintenance staff. Almost as soon as we launched this campaign, LMHA conceded to some of their demands and took over management of 185 scattered site units previously managed by National Corporation CT Group in June. When we go to those properties now, we see parking lots full of LMHA maintenance vehicles making repairs after years of neglect. At the H. Temple Spears building, the Courier Journal reported that inspectors from the city's Department of Codes and Regulations visited the site 9 times from July 2021 to February 2022, and the reports cite incessant water damage, walls in need of repair, leaks, and faulty lights. In December, one inspector wrote, "A lot of violations are still the same." In October 2021, the Courier Journal reported units in the Berrytown complex that had become riddled with mold while under the CT Group management. The residents in these buildings are finally getting much needed repairs. Those of us in Liberty Green and Shepherd Square deserve the same. Although I have had problems with the CT Group for years, something real harmful happened to me this year in June. When I tried to move from public housing to Section 8. Although I completed my application at the beginning of July 2022, CT Group put me through a series of gaslighting and goalpost moving, where they continually told me that my application was incomplete. After submitting my application a second time and making another trip to the rental office, my application was finally complete by the time of my deadline, which was July 25th. However, on July 25th, the CT Group called me at 3:41 p.m. and asked, "Are you coming to get these papers or not?" When I arrived at the Section 8 office, there was a sign on the door saying that paperwork would not be accepted after 4 p.m. I returned the next day and called the recertification specialist from LMHA, who verified that all of my paperwork was turned in on time. After several more rounds of going back and forth, dropping off paperwork, only to have them call me later and say that my application was not complete, I finally completed my paperwork, and the Liberty Green staff apologized to me because they were doing jobs that they were not trained to do. The next problem was that I was not allowed to view my Section 8 unit. To file a complaint. When I asked her how to file a complaint, she informed me that she would file it herself. The conversation continued to escalate until Kathy became very angry and said, "Miss Jones, we are not going to transfer you."
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That was the end of my conversation. I was literally standing in the Section 8 office in front of the staff when I also had this conversation with Kathy. So there are witnesses. Today, let me go back. This month, at the beginning of August 2022, I signed a new lease for my Section 8 apartment with Liberty Green and the CT Group. When I could not view the unit until I signed the lease. When I signed the lease, I went to view the unit, and there was mold under all of my sinks, which was my kitchen and both of my bathrooms, as well as a number of other issues, and I did turn those in to housing. Today, I tried to move into my new apartment that was approved, and someone had been living there. When I walked in, there were ashes, there were plates, there were food.
That ain't right.
Come on.
Yeah, so that is what I experienced today. So even though I took off of work, I planned everything the correct way. I felt like I did everything that I was supposed to do. I'm still left without that housing, and now I have to redo the plans to be able to move into that unit. There is no reason any of this should have happened. All I did was attempt to move from public housing to the Section 8 program that had already met requirements for it. The CT Group treats us like we live in public housing. We don't have rights, but we do. We have aspirations. I grew up in Spoketown and Phoenix Hill, and I chose to stay because this is my home. I grew up in public housing, but my mother had a different plan for me. She sent me to traditional schools my entire life to help me prepare for college. I graduated from Louisville Male Traditional High School, where I was in marching band, concert band, I was on the track team, and I was a future educator of America. In May of this year, I graduated with an Associates of Arts from Bluegrass Community and Technical College in Lexington. It was a long commute, but I finished the program. I'm now a proud first-generation college student, and I also work for Johnson Traditional Middle School. As a single mother, it is hard to get out of public housing with having to endure the treatment that we have experienced by Kathy Strom and the CT Group. This mistreatment, this harassment, and the lack of maintenance. These issues affect our health, our safety, and the lives of our children. Thank you.
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, hey.
How we doing?
My name is Jatalia Hathaway. I am from Louisville. I went to Seneca High School. I'm from a large family with 5 sisters and brothers. Well, 2 brothers. I'm a mother of 2 and expecting a 3rd. I'm a homebody. I don't have a lot of hobbies. I really enjoy being at home and spending time with my kids, singing and dancing. But lately, my home has been a nightmare. I moved into Shepherd Square in 2014. Although this was before CT Group took over, it was still bad then, but it got much worse. I started having problems with CT Group earlier this year. They don't care about how anyone is living. They don't respond to maintenance requests. I've been there for 9 years. They haven't updated anything in my apartment. No new carpet, no new appliances, no new paint, nothing.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
When I put in a request for these items, they say there is a 5-year waiting list.
What?
But they never tell me where I am on the list or when I can expect these things. If you call the office, they never answer. They never even pick the phones up. You literally have to walk to the office to get someone to respond. And then they give you the runaround and send you on your way. It is really obvious that they don't care about us or about fixing these issues.
Right.
My air conditioner was not working for months.
That ain't
That
right.
ain't right.
That ain't right.
My kids and I have been without AC all summer.
That
Oh,
ain't right.
Let me just say that again because I don't think you heard me. My kids and I were without air conditioner all summer long.
That ain't right.
Finally, they fixed it after I complained several times. And I believe they only fixed it because I started doing inspections in July. They don't change the filters. They do not give 24 hours notice to come into my apartment. The maintenance comes in whenever they want. They're not if I'm there, but if I'm not, they will come in.
Yes, they will.
Yes.
1 year ago, I had an appointment with CT Group to adjust my rent. I got to the appointment on time, but my caseworker was not there. The next day, I got a notice asking me to come to tell me that my rent increased, but they never told me why. I just met Kathy Strong about a month ago because I failed my inspection because my appliances were owed. But they haven't fixed or replaced anything for 9 years.
That ain't right.
Kathy was very rude and disrespectful, blaming me for the failed inspections when I was trying to get help with my urgent need a few months ago. She let me know that she didn't care. She actually denied my license because she said the amount was too little.
That ain't right.
She didn't let me know that I would be getting an eviction notice in a week. She filed an eviction against me for non-payment of rent. 2 or 3 weeks later, I got a call from someone with LMHA who handles evictions who said that Kathy couldn't evict me. She let me know that my files are missing.
That ain't right.
I believe Kathy Strum is abusing her power and intentionally hid my files to try and evict me.
Yeah.
I fear for my life on a regular basis.
That ain't right.
It is not safe. It is not safe to live in Shepherd Square because of CT Group.
Right.
We are taking a huge risk by speaking about these issues. As a member of these tenants union, we have each other's back, but we need to know that this city has our back also.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
It doesn't have to be like this. This is not an
It
accident.
shouldn't be like this.
This is not an oversight. This is intentional.
Yeah.
Neglecting our maintenance issues are profitable for CT Group and LMHA.
Yeah.
They make money off our suffering.
Right.
The maintenance issues and neglect are policy decisions because LMHA has put profit over people. But we can change this.
That's right.
Shepherd Square and Liberty Green are not old developments.
Right.
They are fairly new and they can be great places to live if we prioritize them.
That's right.
And if that means that LMHA needs local money to do maintenance, then we should give it to them.
That's right.
But we can't continue to allow LMHA to invest in new projects that put money in the hands of private developers.
Right.
Especially when they don't maintain the sites they already have.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good job. Let's roll. Let's go on. Let's go. Come on, girl.
My name is Jessica Reese, and I'm part of the coordinating team of Louisville Showing Up for Racial Justice, or LSURJ. The LSURJ coordinating team supports Councilman Arthur's resolution requesting that the Louisville Metro Housing Authority cancel contracts with the CT Group and offer employment to any frontline staff who might be impacted by the cancellations. We are in favor of this resolution because we've heard directly from LMHA tenants who are part of the Louisville Tenants Union and who live in buildings managed by the CT Group. The CT Group is falling down on its obligations to provide quality service and to respect the people they serve. It's that simple.
Yes.
LMHA tenants have described the following issues to us, some of which you've already heard about tonight. Persistent problems with cockroaches and mold, consistent water leaks leading to water damage, gas leaks, poor insulation, safety concerns, difficulties with basic issues such as lockouts, a squatter living in an empty apartment for weeks, harassment by staff, parking for people with disabilities being blocked by maintenance vehicles, and more. The concerns and the stories that tenants have shared should be unacceptable to all of us. Everyone deserves safe, well-maintained, and affordable housing. That's why we support the tenants' demand that LMHA cancel its contracts with the CT Group. Earlier this summer, we as the coordinating team wrote to LMHA's Executive Director, Lisa Osanka, to lift up tenants' demands and share what we heard from them. Now we will contact our Metro Council members in support of Councilman Arthur's resolution. As white folks organizing other white people to join racial justice work because there's something at stake for all of us, we call on everyone in our base to contact Metro Council as well.
That's right.
Housing is a racial justice issue. To be specific, the vast majority of LMHA tenants are Black, including every tenant who has spoken with us. Black women with children and Black seniors are the core of whom LMHA serves. It's a difficult, risky thing for tenants to speak out about the people who control their homes. We support LMHA tenants organizing. And we hope that Metro Council will show up for these tenants as they organize to win the safe and hospitable housing that they deserve. On behalf of the L-Search coordinating team, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Woo.
Very much.
Hello, my name is Quamisha Adams, and I am a previous tenant to Village West City View. On June 2nd, 2020, I was involved in a car accident where someone did a hit and run. My story did make front page news as I moved my vehicle to my apartment complex. Hadn't sat there 24 hours. I received a phone call from Renisha Woods, and she told me that my car needed to be moved. I told her that I could move it. I literally just got out the hospital. Told her that I could move it, but I needed some time because they were rioting at the time. They had just, murdered George Floyd. So Louisville was, at an uproar, and no tow truck. I couldn't get a tow company to come down and tow my car. So she asked how was the car moved to my home. I told her that my child's father helped me get it there. He also is a welder. He was going to help me fix the car. So I didn't necessarily have to get rid of the car. But Renisha then told me that I needed to move the car. I needed to move around the corner. And I'm not speaking to you the way she was speaking to me. This is she was speaking to me like a Black woman, like a little kid, like I was, a child, telling me I needed to get the car away from the company. And she had people on the property, and they didn't need to see that car sitting there. Me as a tenant, I do know that I have 14 days secure lease violation. I wasn't granted that at all. Like I said, didn't sit there 24 hours. I hung up the phone with her. At that point, I knew that, she's in control of my housing. I know I have to get this car moved. I step outside, and Renisha was out there with a tow truck.
That ain't right.
Emotionally, I did come outside. I was on the phone with my mom the entire time. I was crying, snot, I'm upset. And I'm trying to stop them from putting a tow sticker on my car. However, the police did show up. The police let her know how unreasonable she was being. Let this lady move her car. So I did get the chance to move my car that day. About 17, 18 days later, I was slapped with an eviction letter on my door. I didn't think that, it would land me, where I was at. But on August the 7th, we went to court via Zoom. I want to point that out, via Zoom. This court that was supposed to be a hearing turned into a trial in 15 minutes. I wasn't there to speak. They went behind camera. I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. They came back from, a break, and they let me know that I was not able to speak. My witnesses were not able to be called. I had people that were there supporting me that could not be in the group. My hearing turned into a trial, and that trial was closed. I had a closed trial for a car, for an eviction. So it was not criminal at all. I didn't say anything criminal. However, Renisha Woods did have me on recording. I never threatened anyone. I still have those recordings on my phone. And the only thing you see is a stressed mom trying to stop them from taking their car. It was the only thing I had for me and my children. Then Kathy Strong was the first time I ever met her. I never ever seen her. She was in a video with Renisha Woods. She lied on stand and testified that she heard me threatening and making terroristic threats to the property. Mind you, this is all on camera. You cannot record and talk on the phone with a person at the same time. The police did come out. They wouldn't submit the police footage, all because it shows that a tow truck was in the background. They testified that a tow truck was not called. So I don't know how people get away with lying under oath, but they definitely did. Me and my children was evicted on August the 7th. I have 4 children. My story made front cover, and nothing was done about it.
That ain't right.
Luckily, I was due for Section 8, and I called them. I let them know what was going on. They just wanted to make sure that I wasn't evicted for rent, and they did. I was able to get my Section 8, so that was a blessing. I am, thankful for that. I would like to reassure that CT group gets canceled so that they could stop harassing Black mothers like me. Because all we're trying to do is elevate. We can't grow if we have someone throwing sticks and stones at us. If I cry, you're shaming me, and then even the housing circumstances, like they said. I could name so many things. I lived there for 5 years. I could go on and on. But this was the biggest, the ultimate. I left me with nothing, like literally. And they're enjoying their lives, living fancy, driving nice cars, and getting new booties. She got her booty done. I would like to tell y'all that. She definitely went and got her booty done. But hey, I'm still walking with my kids. I'm still living, and it is what it is. I appreciate you guys for coming out and hearing us out. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Sandra Campbell Booker. I moved into Liberty Green about 6 years ago. I had been living in the Blanton house, but the apartment was too small. So I randomly submitted an application to Liberty Green and didn't think that they would contact me as quickly as they did. But within a year, I had a beautiful 2-bedroom apartment. This was great because my daughter was able to move in with me and help me out with she was my, let me slow down. Let me back up a little bit.
That's all right.
Okay.
Take your time.
Okay. She was my caregiver at the time, and that meant that she could live there too to help me with things I needed in my everyday life. I have always admired Liberty Green. I had always admired them because when you ride past, the yards are nice, the bushes are trimmed, then they will do that. They will cut the grass 2 times a week. But when I moved in, I was shocked at how dirty the hallways were. And although outside of Liberty Green is beautiful and well maintained, inside was a different story.
That's right.
They couldn't keep anybody on staff to clean the hallways, so they just didn't clean the hallways. Okay, I've lived in Louisville my whole life, up in the Smoketown area. All of my people, aunties, uncles, 2 great-grandmothers, and everything. So I'm well established with the area. I also attended Iroquois High School. I have worked home health for over 25 years, and most of that time I worked at Jewish. Okay, starting 2 years ago, the lady upstairs over me, her washing machine, so they said, overflowed, and it rained down in my apartment and everything from the overflow. And I mean, it was raining inside my apartment. It literally looked like it was raining, and I mean raining like we were standing outside. And they said it came from the washing machine, from the lady above. But you can't call anybody. If I had known where it was coming from, I would have ran upstairs and told them. But you can't call anybody because Miss Marshall is always in a meeting.
That ain't
right.
And the maintenance response time is very, very slow. Okay, the next thing that happened, I went in and I tried to cut the water off in the sink in my kitchen. Well, for some reason, I don't know if a screw has slipped or whatever, I had more than a stream of water running. So it was after hours, and I called the emergency number that you call, and she said she would try to get somebody out. Now, I deem that as an emergency, running water.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And then, and of course, the maintenance was slow, and she did get somebody out 2 days later.
That ain't right.
And you know, I got mad. I said, this just don't make sense, you know, with the water running and stuff. And then I thought, well, hell, I'm not paying the water bill, so let it rip. Okay. And earlier this year, my toilet stopped up. And I called because I have male family, but I don't like for them to touch anything in there just in case they break something. And we do have maintenance. And so that stayed, they took their time. That stayed, my toilet stayed stopped up for almost 2 weeks. I think it was
That ain't right.
2 weeks. And
2
incidentally,
weeks.
everything that I'm telling you all, I got pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got pictures.
document.
And it's just really sad. And response time is just to the maintenance is just extremely slow. And it's like when you call about something, you have to call at least 4 times before they do something. And it's usually like a 2-week thing. If you call them and tell them something, it's like a 2-week thing. And then when I was also told, because I was a big mouth by one of the maintenance men, because when they finally got there, I was kind of PO'd. And they said, ma'am, he said, let me tell you, don't be mad at us. We were on our way to do another job. And she said, in other words, I was getting on her nerves by calling. So stop what y'all doing and go see what's going on with her. And while he was there, he asked me, was it anything else I needed before they left? Okay? And I'm just going to tell you, I enjoy social events. I enjoy people in general. And I love having company, but I'm embarrassed to ask anybody to come over because the hall is so nasty. I got pictures of that. Okay. And there has to be mold in my apartment because, and I can tell just as good when somebody's got allergy problems because when they come in, they start sniffling and sneezing and everything, nose running. Yes. And it looks like my ceiling is going to fall in at any time out in my hallway. I can see where it's punctured and it's going to fall. And also in my utility room, they came because her water heater busted. This was the 3rd time I had water in my apartment.
The 3rd time.
And yeah, 3rd time. And then I had to beg for new carpet because you can imagine what that looked like and how it smelled.
Yeah.
And all this kind of stuff. And it's just awful living there. The apartment is beautiful, but everything else just overshadows that.
Yeah.
And I have to admit that I was fearful. I was fearful of speaking out. I was fearful of retaliation. I was fearful of being evicted for speaking up. But they can bring it on. And I wanted to say one other thing. As long as I've been there, and I've been there for 6 years, my rent has been there on the 3rd of the month. And I want to retire and live out the rest of my life with peace. And I don't have to have it no other way. But again, I've never met Kathy, but she can come on.
That's right.
Good evening, everyone. I'm trying to get all this bandwidth from me so I can talk to y'all. I got it. I think I am. I'm just all hooked up, y'all, with these here masks, but we got to stay safe. Mm-hmm. Everything's coming out, but it's okay. I'm gonna let y'all know what's going on. My name is Emma Litton, and I have lived in Liberty Green for 10 years. I was so excited to move downtown and be so close to the theater, art galleries, and parks. Things that I wanted to enjoy in my retirement.
Yes.
This location was excellent for people who are retired. And when I moved into Liberty Green, it was such a great place to live. It was like a dream, but quickly turned into a nightmare. It started going sour about 4 years ago when I was first exposed to natural gas.
Yeah.
I had to leave home, my home, and go to the country, which is Tennessee, where I was born, for 2 weeks because I was a mess. The most recent problem that I have almost took me out of here. And that's what I mean. Literally, it almost killed me. Starting late 2021, I started to get dizzy, coughing and sneezing. I was really sick during, well, really Thanksgiving and Christmas. My cousin came and he took me to the hospital. The doctor ran every imaginary test you can think they ran on. They said I was a mess. I've been a mess. They couldn't find anything. And I would like to let you know this. I had already been vaccinated. I had already had my vaccine and booster. Okay, and I don't allow nobody to my house unless they come correct. Only one person at a time. I see you on the porch. I love y'all. The doctor ran every test like you said they could. I went in on Saturday. That was the first time. I had a fever. My pulse was, I went on Sunday. My pulse, I had a fever. My pulse was high, and my oxygen level was 67. They admitted me to the hospital immediately. But the next day, I started feeling better. They worked on me all night, all that day, all the tests. But about 11 o'clock Monday morning, I'm feeling better. My oxygen level's going up to normal. They was taking me off of different medication, IVs and stuff, and I'm feeling better, and I'm laughing and talking, and not sneezing. I could breathe. I could breathe again. And so they let me go home, which it was a Tuesday, and I felt good. By Wednesday evening, my eyes started burning again, and I started coughing. Then my fever came back. Back Saturday, I was sicker than I was when I went in there the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to do. I was getting ready to call 911, but I didn't know what they could do because they done did everything for me they could do. So I said, okay. So I laid on the couch, and I knew I had been this sick, felt this way before. And it was 4 years ago when I was exposed to the natural gas.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I called LG&E,
Mm-hmm.
and they came immediately
Mm-hmm.
and came and checked. He came in, he said, first I want to check your furnace room. I said, it's right there, open the door, and the thing said, beep, 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 beep. He says, right here. He cut off my gas. I took pictures and videos. He put the hazard, you know how they put the hazard and everything on. And so he said, let me check again. Let me check some more. He went outside, the meters that's outside. He said, I think I'm catching up, finding something out here, some gas leak out here. He said, I'm going to go upstairs. He went up there on the 3rd floor. He came down, and he told me, he said, have them to check the 3rd floor because there's something in the ceiling and the walls. I think they got trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. Meanwhile, he said, well, call your maintenance because I'll turn off the gas, so we have got to be here. And when I called maintenance, we couldn't get maintenance. He waited, couldn't get maintenance. He left. I couldn't get no one until Monday. When I called, I couldn't get nobody until Monday when I called over to the office, CT, and they came, excuse me, thank you so much. So I told her what was going on. I related the problem back to her, what the technician had told me from LG&E. I even went as far as I said, I got a gas leak, and he done turned off everything. So she sent someone immediately over, and the people she sent over was Overflow. Overflow came over. They was there in my house about 3.5 hours, replacing things and doing things. So, and they check everything. So that was okay. So, okay. We got that done. So I'm getting well, I think. But then now, the fever came back by Saturday. Okay, I called LG&E. They came, checked the furnace, and there it was. LG and the inspector told me to tell them to check the 3rd floor. I did that. Maintenance came that Monday and went upstairs and informed us that we had a leak up there on the 3rd floor that was dripping all the way down to my floor. That was good because we didn't even know. You know, I mean, we done did all this, had the people out, water coming down.
That ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right.
Okay, I'm back home. I was getting sicker and sicker. When I got home this time, because I had to go back I had a cousin to come and take me back to the emergency room. This time I had a temperature of 103.7. It scared me so bad, I didn't know what to do. And they came in, they took me back to the hospital. They didn't know, again. They ran tests, my arm, I said, oh.
It's all right.
My arm is still bruised from all the IVs, y'all, and things that they done to me.
Yeah.
So the doctor finally came in there later on that night, and he said, Miss Emma, he said, we don't know. He said, but maybe you have COVID, touch of the COVID. And the reason why it's not that bad because you've been vaccinated, I have been vaccinated and I've been boosted. I said, no, but I'm not gonna argue with that. I don't do that. I said, cause I go by what we supposed to do. COVID is very dangerous. They gave you the guideline, and that's what I go by. That's me. I don't blame nobody else for what they do, but this is what I do. You can't come to my house unless all this is done. Children, grandkids, anybody.
Yeah.
This is dangerous. Okay. So we go to the hospital. The next day, y'all, here I go again. I'm feeling better. Everything is, I'm just, I don't know. But all my vital signs, everything is normal again. So they let me go home. By the time I got home, that's when we found out my hall was flooded. And I live on the 1st floor. My hall was flooded. Water was coming out of the wall. Out of the wall. in the hallway. I'm trying to come in there, so you know the neighbors, they was upset. They didn't know I had been in the hospital. They thought my apartment had been flooded, and I opened the door. No, the apartment wasn't flooded. So hold up, cause my closet, guest closet's right there. Open up that door, move my Christmas tree, and the box of my Christmas tree was there, and it was drenched, and the fume was so bad. Our eyes burned, our nose burned. We was coughing. It was a mess.
Yeah.
It was a absolutely mess. So, so now the health department investigator came. Of course, I called everybody. And he said, no, you don't have COVID. He said, you're allergic to the mold. I'm breaking out in hives. I'm on prednisone, Benadryl. I don't know what I'm doing because I'm on a special diet. I go back. I try to go by my diet. When you get young, you got to watch your diet and what you eat and your exercise and all that. So I'm young enough where I can do this now. So when I got, like I said, they did that. So Monday they told me about the leak. I told you about the maintenance man. I came to say about the leak. I already know. And they did mold. They also they sent a mold. Investor specialist in there to determine what type of mold. It was a black mold. And what they done was when I know it was because they were just going to do it at my apartment. I said, how you going to do it in my apartment and they're coming from up on the third floor?
Yeah.
You start on the third floor, then you come down. You're going to start up and say, no, that's it. I said, what about the people? What about my people here?
Yeah.
I said, what about the lady across the house? She's elder. I'm elder, but she's elder too.
Yeah.
Elder.
Right.
And then we got 2 babies in the building. And then I'm saying, well, what about them? They didn't even get a notice that we had a gas leak in the building. When they found that out was when I'm telling everybody. I'm telling everybody. I will not be intimidated. And you are. I'm talking about my life. I'm talking about now. Not only am I have been exposed to natural gas, I have also been exposed to mold that I'm still going through it. I've been back home 2 weeks now because I've been gone. I've been staying in hotels, and now this is what's happening to me now. I don't feel good, you all.
Yeah.
Last night I was up all night. Last night I was coughing. I was sneezing. It got real bad. Yes, it's in my lung. All the mucus. I'm trying not to let nothing go down. Just a mess. And so that's what happened with that. So when the first time when I was in the hospital, I took my own self to a hotel. See, when you find out that people don't care nothing about you, you got to love yourself and you got to do what's right for you.
That's right.
So I went to the hotel, my own self.
Yes.
That Monday, that's when I was introduced. Miss Kathy Stone called me at the hotel.
What she have to say?
And she informed me that it wasn't no gas that was found in my apartment. So me, as a soft person like me, I said, excuse me. I said it wasn't no gas leak, wasn't no gas leak in your apartment that was found. I said it was. Because I got the work order. And I was the one that signed. It was, I think, 4 or 5 copies for everybody else to get. Well, you should have one.
Right.
I said, I got mine. And I got videos too. Miss Lady.
Yeah.
Gonna call me a lie.
That's right.
So then she said, "Oh okay, we getting it done right now. We getting it done." I said, "Well, I'm trying to figure out what you got done. So you got a gas leak. It's been verified you had a gas leak. You got mold. It's verified you have mold. Why y'all keep on going in my apartment?"
Yeah.
Now let me tell you what they did. They have hired criminals. I said it.
Yeah.
Right.
That ain't
They have hired criminals, and they have given them access to our apartment. They came in my apartment. They thought it was Walmart. Yes, I said, and I can prove it.
Right. Yeah.
That's right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
Here we are. We are in a terrible situation. They're supposed to be taking care of us, and then here they are taking things. If you're hungry, if you need a place to go, y'all, if you're clothing, all they got to do is ask.
Yeah.
We'll find some place for you. I mean, just a little bit. I believe my people that I'm with will pick you up and let you walk.
Yeah.
You can't give nobody a crumb and talk about and help them. We talking about helping somebody for real to walk. You don't have to steal nothing. Food.
No.
You're gonna go through my stuff and you're gonna steal. I don't worship materialistic stuff, but my grandmother, my great grandmother, we have special, just little stone, just little things that for me. And you're gonna take that. Then you're gonna have nerve enough to go in there and take this box, which was my emergency box, that was in the first bedroom. I mean the guest bathroom. Mm-hmm. And they went in there. They were so tough, y'all. Let me tell you how bad they was. They went in there in the box. This big box I had my medication. I had my file to let you know to buy my medication, my condition, because that's the place you go if a tornado. So therefore, I've always had everything for tornado, and I just put it in this box too because it was a strong box. But it moved. It was good. They went in there and took stuff out of the box that they wanted and put it into another box and took all my stuff out and was stupid enough, I said it again, to go and get a box with somebody else's name and address on it, put the rest of the stuff that they didn't want in there and left it in my apartment.
That ain't right.
I got the proof.
That's right.
So, anyway, this is what we are going through.
Yeah.
Kathy Strong, I tried, I can get along with the devil.
Right.
I can get along with a snake.
Woo.
If you don't try to bite me,
Right. Come on.
if you try to bite me, snake,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take my earrings off and I'm going to kick my shoes off and I'm going to tell God on you. Now, that's how I do mine.
That's right.
She told me that Pastor Strong, when I came back in town after my friends that gave me a week vacation, a break, I lost my mother in January. I have been going through things right They didn't care. I said, I just lost my mother. They didn't care. I'm not a human being. So what? Everything been hitting me, but it's okay. I'm still standing.
Right.
She told me that by me not agreeing, she said, oh, you're not going to agree with anything I'm saying. I said, no, because it's not right. She said she didn't want to take it to the next level. We had a tense conversation, to say the least, y'all. So I told her, you're not going to arrest me or intimidate me because I'm getting